Other interesting political news, you have Nikki Haley's Thanksgiving turkey tweet. Now, going to her personal profile on the good old Twitter, or as 18 people call it X, she has a little picture of herself as well as a little caption, and this got not too bad. It got about 208,000 views and 4.3 thousand likes, which better Chris Christie, he got about 300,000 views and about the same amount of likes. So a little bit better of a ratio for Nikki Haley. And she says in text, quote, "We are missing part of our family today, Michael, who is deployed overseas, and Rena, who is working at the hospital. While on this Thanksgiving Day, our family is not together in person, we are together in spirit. Thank you for the blessings of faith, family, and country. Wishing all of you a wonderful Thanksgiving. Such a reminder of how blessed we are to live in America." And then she has a picture with her, and I'm not familiar with her family. I'm not sure if these are direct relations or extended family, but she has a picture of herself, a gentleman in a military uniform, I believe that might be her daughter, as well as her daughter's boyfriend or husband, maybe. Maybe the guy in the military is her husband? So it looks like maybe part of her family. Nevertheless, a pretty good Thanksgiving tweet. Not too divisive. She didn't do the Chris Christie effect where she just blamed Trump for everything or mentioned Trump. She just kind of kept it on point, talking about her family and how they're touching the good points about how her family's involved in the community in good ways. I mean, you got one in the military, you got one in the hospital, both highly respected areas of service in the United States for the most part. So, pretty good. I mean, she didn't use it as a blowhard moment talking about, vote for me, XYZ, which I don't think, regardless of who did it, I don't know how good taste that would be, no matter who said it. I think the best message, if you are to do some type of campaign post or any post on a holiday, is best to highlight the importance of the holiday and as well as your family, what you're grateful for. So I think it makes sense in that regard. Now, interestingly enough, this doesn't really give me a compelling reason to vote for her. But let's go to the comments and see, did they roast her like a turkey? Or did they praise her and say, great job? Let's dive in and find out. Let's see here. Someone by the name of CCCIO says, quote, "It looks like a comic strip." And it is someone saying to a group of people, Muslim countries standing with Palestine, and all the hands are raised to the crowd. And then the same person at the podium says, quote, "Muslim countries willing to take Palestine refugees," and no one in the crowd is now raising their hand. That got 24 likes. And I guess in terms of the background, Nikki Haley is very much more pro-interventionalism in terms of geopolitical policies. She thinks kind of the traditional conservative, or depending how you define conservatives in general, more of the traditional perhaps Republican stance where they believe that global peace is essentially determined and helped with deterrence effect and having the United States actively involved in global conflicts. That's some of the theories that are out there in that regard. And that post got 24 likes. Manhattan Shades says, quote, "God bless you, Nikki. Happy Thanksgiving," unquote, 19 likes. Spaceman, although it looks like he is not in space, so not A+ for marketing, Mr. Alleged Spaceman. In fact, it looked like the Wall Street bets guys with glasses and I forget what you call it, the towel with the string on it. And again, I'm obviously butchering the description, but it is the headpiece that you see worn more in the Middle East. And this alleged spaceman says, quote, "Lucky you, go to Gaza and take a look at the many children who lost their entire family. While on this Thanksgiving Day, their family will never be together in person, but they will be together in spirit. Thank you, Nikki, for sending my hard-earned tax dollars to Israel, Egypt, and Jordan to commit crimes against humanity," unquote. And that did get 31 likes. So again, it's a small sample size thus far. We've only read a couple comments, but that is actually the most popular one thus far. War Reports says, quote, "God bless America. Don't vote to Nikki Haley, period." Grammar aside, that did get 31 likes. Let's see here. Fourth comment, "They are all corrupt," says, quote, "Children born on U.S. soil to foreign citizen parents are not eligible to be U.S. president. Hashtag Kamala Harris, Nikki Haley, and Vivek Ramaswamy were born to foreign citizens' parents," unquote. Which, if they're a citizen, yeah, if your parents come here legally and they become citizens and they have kids, I would say my 3 cents, I obviously believe they should be here because their parents are here legally and they have a kid. I'm not sure where this person is getting this idea from. That nevertheless did get 14 likes on the Twitter. Someone just did pictures of pumpkins. Say this person, Robert the Gunny Richie, said there's always something to be grateful for, getting 2 likes. Joel Mazur says, quote, amen, looking forward to having you as our next president, unquote, getting 5 likes. Let's see here. Not a lot of comments. Patrice simply says, stop war, getting 1 like. Let's see here. One of the most popular responses comes from Naif Rajib. He says, quote, dear Nikki, happy Thanksgiving to you, ma'am, and your honorable family. At least you can meet with your family and in one homeland. But Palestinian people are dispersed because of the Zionist occupation and terrorism, a horrific thing that happened 75 years ago, as you know that very well. When the people of Palestine hosted the fleeing and unjust Nazi Holocaust, the Zionists came to the land of Palestine as refugees and fleeing from injustice. Hitler's Europe, instead of thanking the Palestinian people for hospitality, the Zionists went on and occupied their country, then expelled them into the desert, and to this day they suffer in the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, and even in all of Palestine. You must have witnessed the killing of thousands of children and thousands of women without fault. You must also be following the Zionist siege of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I hope that you convey to your people the pain of the people of Christ, the Palestinians. You are a mother. How many mothers have lost newborns in Palestine? Do you not help a criminal escape from his crime? Greetings to you and your respective family members. That did get 8 likes. That was a book and a lot of data. Debatably, how much of it is true. I'd have to that'd be a whole podcast in and of itself. Now, the top responses to that original statement comes from Who Da Thought says, quote, wow, a revisionist history at its best, unquote, and they got 5 likes. Let's see here. And then going back to the main quotes, to Nikki Haley's original statement. Let's see. Political Voice says, quote, this tweet could have been sent in a WhatsApp group message to your family, unquote, getting 4 likes. A couple of people calling her a war criminal. Let's see. SSJ Gato Gotcha says, quote, Haley, I am a soldier. Did you know your husband can take a picture in civvies to show he is a normal man and not a prop for your campaign? As an American soldier for almost a decade, it disgusts me that you and your husband treat his uniform as a mere prop for your family campaign, unquote. Getting 4 likes. Which, yeah, I think I would, again, maybe it isn't common knowledge, but it makes sense you don't have to always wear a uniform if you're at home and you're visiting family. But I certainly do agree that I can see the point. A lot of people use that as a political campaign tool to remind people that they are in the military. Because again, if I just see her husband in a suit, I would respect him because he's suited up, as all men should. But I wouldn't necessarily know he is serving in the military without additional context. So I understand how some people are using that as a political mechanism, as well as a way to give people additional data without having to literally spell it out. Let's see here. A couple of people getting between 3 and 4 likes, saying thank you for your service, Nikki Haley, or thank you for making our lives better somehow. They didn't say it, somehow I did. Let's see. George R. Gay says, quote, Governor Haley, thank you for you and your family for your service. Thank you to your principled race for the presidency. We must not have a former president back again, unquote, getting 6 likes. So interesting enough, I say overall pretty positive for Nikki Haley. Now, of course, the real question is, how does this help her in the polls? She has been increasing, interestingly enough. And let's see here, pull up the poll aggregator. I mean, last Friday she was, what was it? I mean, she had increased. So like the past 4 weeks, she went to about 6 to 7%, all the way up to 10%. So last Friday, she was at 10%. I believe Trump is still at 60.2 or 60.3%. And DeSantis is just falling like a rock. He was at 12.6% about. So she is catching up to DeSantis. And again, the big question for the Republican nominee is, will Trump be barred by legal or illegal methods from the government or even the states? Some states are rumored to just want to take his name off the ballot. There's a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainties with this election. And that very well, it might be an instance where being in second place could put you in first place. So again, his campaign is just dropping like a rock. He started around 30% in terms of the Republican nominee when they're doing these polls. They're asking people, like, who do you think would be the best Republican nominee? I mean, DeSantis was starting around 30, 32%. Trump's at 40%, 42%. And how many months has these polls been going? Because the polls aggregator started, what was this, January 2023? And yeah, Trump's got all the way up to last Friday's 60.3%. And so Nikki Haley is coming up in the polls. And it probably does help that a couple of nominees are dropping out. So instead of those people voting for them, they're voting for someone else. But the real question is, what statements does she have to make and what moves does she have to make on the political chessboard to actually surpass DeSantis? Or alternatively, just keep doing what she's doing and DeSantis keeps shooting himself in his high-heeled boots. And before you know it, DeSantis is at 2%. Because, again, look at his trajectory. DeSantis has come down, down, down. And, again, I'm not sure who he's surrounding himself with. As a governor, I think DeSantis has good policies, but this campaign staff is not an asset to him and it's not helping him. So let me know in the comments. Does Nikki Haley just need to kind of just kind of keep steady, and DeSantis will, at the current trend, just go below her in the ratings? Or do you think she maybe needs to make another bold move or two to actually move ahead of him in the polls sooner? Be interesting to see, but also be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to leave feedback so I can actually learn how to make the show better and better, as I do want to improve the quality. I am still looking for a software to have picture-in-picture, so if you have suggestions, so that way we can actually show the Twitter videos and have more references in real-time production, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.